Hello and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to the second episode of my adventures in Euro Truck Simulator 2. Now, you join me just at the lumberyard in Felixstowe. That's where we left on the last episode. We came from Birmingham, so on this trip we are going to be going to Carlisle with 21 tons of wooden beams, which is quite apt really because we're in a wood lumberyard. We're going to be paid £16,671 for this delivery. So, and as you can see, I'm in a get the right button there. I am in a Scania truck. So this is a. I'll zoom this one in a bit. This is one of the old style Scanias, a 360 horsepower engine, so quite powerful. So let's jump in and get this delivery on the way. Set up the track IR. And once again, we have my little Galaxy tab sat next to me here with a few options on it. So let's get this started up. Now the headlights on, well, side lights on. Don't need, I ain't got any beacons, high beams I don't need. Because we're in the yard, we'll have the hazard lights on. And I'm going to need to bring up the sat-nav because this truck does not actually have a sat-nav, which would be on the left-hand side there, the steering wheel. Hopefully when we come to actually buy our own truck, we will actually have a sat-nav in, so we won't have to have this option laid up in front of the screen here. So anyway, let's take the handbrake off and let's get on our way. Check the trailer's not going to hit anything. It would be a bad idea to do that in front of the customer. Hello, Mr. Police Officer. Yes, one law-abiding lorry driver. So we've got quite a busy time for us to actually get out onto the main road here. Just want a little bit more space. Not quite sure how much oomph this lorry's got. And another police car there. And we're on our way. This is one of the older styles of Scania trucks in Euro Truck Simulator. As of the latest patch, they have got the brand new 17 plate Scanias in, which just look a little bit different. Than this version of the Scania. I think I mentioned it quite a few times in the first video. I do have a soft spot for Scania trucks. 9 times out of 10 I end up purchasing a Scania as my first lorry in the game. And I dare say it'll probably be exactly the same when we come to buy the Scania, well, the first unit for our company. This could be quite interesting. It looks like dual carriageways for us to cross. If I just stick my nose out, the AI traffic will work it out eventually. Are you going to stop? No, you're not going to stop. That'll do. That's enough space. I said this in the first video, the AI traffic on this game is brutal. They can do things that you're just not quite ready for. Obviously that's a nice challenge, but can cause a few headaches along the way. especially on the longer journeys. I think this engine is a little bit small for this load. I think the last load we carried was, what, 16 tons. This is 21 tons. And it's just a little bit beginning to struggle. Once you get up to speed, it's alright. I dare say there's some hills along the way. That could be quite a challenge for this engine. Now, I did start talking about what equipment I'm using for the truck simulator and another police car. Don't need police escort just yet. But yeah, I'm using the Logitech G920 wheel with the 6-speed shifter as the gear shifter. Now, most people that know lorries do not have 6 gears. They have what seems like millions of gears. This lorry itself is set up for a 12-speed gearbox. And you might be wondering how you can make the Logitech gear shifter work with Euro Truck Simulator, and it's quite simple. A bit complicated to get going if you've never used this kind of thing before, but basically what you do is you set up the H shifter to basically duplicate the gears. So in the first set of gears I have first gear through to 6th gear. I then have to press a mode button, which I can set to any button on my 920 wheel, and I would then reselect what was first gear in the original set, and now that will mysteriously become 7th gear. And I can go all the way up to 12. All the way up to 12, wrong gear. All the way up to 12 on that high range, for want of a better word. Reverse is underneath 6th gear, I do believe, and you have to actually physically push the knob of the gear shifter down and move it into the reverse gear position, so you can't select reverse gear by accident. But yeah, that's how the gear shifter works in Truck Simulator. There are different gearboxes with differing amounts of gears. Hopefully this guy's just going to pull in front of me. There we go, we've got the lights on. I need the wipers on because it's just starting to rain. I'm running out of gears here. Yeah, so it adds an extra part of realism. Of course, if you don't want to actually use the complicatedness of the 6-speed and 12-speed and all that kind of stuff, and changing mode buttons and all that kind of stuff, you can run these lorries just as automatics. And the car and the computer will change the gear, or the lorry will change the gear when it needs to. However, I have found the automatic box to be quite dim-witted. It can struggle in certain circumstances. Most of the time on motorways like this, absolutely no problem whatsoever. But there are certain times you can confuse it. There we go, the lorry that overtook us and now is actually going quite slowly. Problem is I have to come down the gears to try and overtake him, should I overtake him. And I've not got too many revs to actually play around with, unlike a car. So if this Range Rover thing gets out of the way, oh no, somebody else now. That AI car should sit there. They will actually respond to seeing indicators being put on, so you know, you can plan your manoeuvres around all the lorries like this, and the AI traffic should recognise that you're going to pull out at some point and actually let you out. They won't flash the lights or anything like that to actually acknowledge the fact they're letting you out, but it adds a bit of realism to the game, and it's already very, very realistic. Now you might be wondering just how long I've been playing Euro Truck Simulator 2, and that's quite a simple answer, and it's many, many hours. Not just in Euro Truck Simulator 2. I have played the original Euro Truck Simulator, I have played UK Truck Simulator, didn't really do too much with the German Truck Simulator, but I did spend quite a few hours on UK Truck Sim. I think that was really the first of the truck sims I actually got involved in. Problem is this lorry is not allowing the other cars to move out of the way, so sorry Mr. AI car from behind. So yeah, I have spent an awful lot of hours plodding up and down the virtual motorways of Europe. Haven't spent so much time on American Truck Simulator. It is the newest of all the sims, and I will be doing a new series of videos based around American Truck Simulator. I've just got to get that all set up. Tried it not so long back, a couple of days ago now, and yeah, I managed to do the first little delivery just to prove that everything's running on it. So just got to check the recording software is going to obviously record on it, and then we'll start a whole new career in American Truck Simulator, which is a little bit different than European Truck Simulator. And obviously the fact is it's set in America for a start, but it also has the big lorries with the big massive engines with a massive great big bonnets, which handle a lot differently than what these do. And slightly bit different as well is we'll be starting that career literally with nothing. I think I've got $5,000 in the bank on that game, whereas this one I've got 188,000. Obviously at some point I am going to want to buy my own unit, my own lorry, and start my own company off. For all those that don't really know what you start off with on Euro Truck Simulator, you actually start off doing what I'm doing right now, which is essentially working for an agency. You will select your home base, your home depot, but you will go work out of many other depots, and you get money for this. Not as much money as if you owned your own unit, but because obviously you have to pay off the agency that you're working for, but they will provide you with a delivery. In this mode you can actually try out all the different units, all the different companies. Like I said on the first video, there's Scania, there's Volvo, Mercedes, Iveco, MAN, I think I said Renault there as well. There's a lot of the main companies that provide lorries and trailers. They're in the game. and very detailed. So yeah, if you don't have a preference as to which unit you really like, which company you really like, then that's the way to do it, and you will start earning money. That's the best way of actually starting to earn money. And eventually you will have a lot of money in your bank, and you can go out and purchase your own unit. Now, you can do this literally by just doing the deliveries. They will provide you with money, they'll provide you with XP, and the more XP you have, the better the rewards for doing these deliveries. So yeah, you'll start off getting less than £10,000 for a delivery, and when you get up to the Uber XP, the Uber ranks, you will actually start to get the longer journeys that equate to being more money. Now, as I said in the first video, I had a mod installed, just for one delivery, and that was the XP mod. And the only reason why I had that installed was that it gave me a boatload of XP, and when it comes to buying my own unit, whenever I decide to do that, I will have access to all the upgrades and all the artistic parts that you want to put on your truck. I will still have to work for that delivery, work for those upgrades. I have no money mod. Like I said, I've only got 188,000 in the bank, and it's going to cost me at least 160,000 pounds to get my lorry just the way I want it. And it won't be just the way I want it, because engines are expensive, gearboxes are expensive, chassis are very expensive. Now, you may see on the sat-nav there's a great big red and white circled speed limit, and at the moment it's set to 60 miles an hour. It is set to the lorry's speed limit legally that I can get to. However, this lorry is actually fitted with a limiter, which limits it to 55 miles an hour anyway. So the great thing is I cannot actually speed, which is probably a good thing, really. Struggling up the hills as it is. But you can take the limiters off, and then the lorry will do stupid speed limits. Stupid speeds, I should say. I have taken a limiter off just to see what will happen, and yeah, it's quite interesting. You're driving something like a lorry at speeds that a race car will be driving at, which is obviously not realistic. So don't expect me anytime soon to be taking the limiters off my lorries. I like a bit of realism. Looks like our delivery point is, what, 115 miles away, 2 hours 25 minutes. We'll probably be dropping this one off just as nightfall is about to hit. What is it now? 10 past 6 in the evening. Starting to get a bit darker. There is a day-night cycle in ETS2, and it's not true day-night cycle, but it is, it does simulate obviously the night. Same amount of AI traffic to put up with, but it is quite weird driving in just the headlights showing. I mean, obviously the lights in a lorry are quite powerful as it is, but does illuminate the area very well. But it is a lot more different than what you're seeing at the moment. Now, there is quite a few options that you can put on ETS regarding how realistic you want your truck driving experience. Things like fatigue simulation, we can actually put that on, and my driver will require a break every so many hours. And I'm not driving with fatigue simulation on, and the reason why is I want to make mildly entertaining videos. Obviously, if I have to deliver something, that's kind of entertaining, especially for anyone who likes ETS. Having to deliver and then have to have a break and all that kind of stuff, and having a break when the driver wants, not when I want, it's just another annoyance. So yeah, fatigue simulation is not on. Offence, police offence and all that kind of stuff, driving offences, they are on. So if I nouse this up, have a crash, run through speed cameras far too fast, you know, that kind of stuff, I will be penalised for that. Obviously that one is a real risky one, because the AI traffic can do things that you're not quite ready for, and cause you to have a financial bill put on you to obviously repair the damages that you've done to someone else's trailer. And obviously, like I say, a speeding fine or, you know, an accident fine, things like that, you will get fined for, which always comes out your profits. You've also got, I've never really heard people actually talk about this in ETS, but we've also got rumble strips put onto the lines on the right hand side there, the big thick constant line. If I run the vehicle over that, it will vibrate and it will play a sound. This is obviously for anyone in realistic driving who may accidentally fall asleep or feel a bit drowsy. If their vehicle wanders, it will make a noise, so you know you're just about to have a really, really bad day. So yeah, we've got this on the ETS2 as well. There's another thing as well called advanced coupling. Now, advanced coupling is one of the newer options that came out quite a few versions ago now. But advanced coupling is when you actually have to pick up your trailer. Now, this is obviously when you've got your own unit. Normally, on the easiest level, without advanced coupling on, you basically park your unit near the trailer, press the T button or whatever button you have it assigned to hitch the trailer up, and the trailer bounces onto your unit. It's quite simple. You park somewhere roughly near where the trailer is, press the magic button, and then, you know, by magic, there you go, the trailer's now connected. However, advanced coupling means you actually have to physically reverse the lorry into the trailer. Not, you know, you've got to do it properly, and it is quite difficult, shall we say. You have to be looking backwards, obviously, and you have to hit the pin on the trailer bang on, and it is quite difficult. And once you start getting it, once you start getting the handle of it, it's quite simple to do. All the trailers, no matter what shape, size, and all that kind of stuff, all have the same way of connecting to the unit. So obviously once we've got our own unit, I will put advanced coupling on and we'll show it off, and I dare say I'll be able to nouse that one up as well, but yeah, it makes it more realistic. 49 miles away from our drop-off point. I do believe I've got a caravan sat in front of me. The arch nemesis. I daren't overtake this caravan because I know my turn-off point is going to come up. I think these caravans were actually added in one of the newer updates, because I can't recall seeing too many caravans in the game before. Normally it was just cars and, you know, vans and all that kind of stuff. Now we actually have caravans. I suppose, like I say, it adds realism to the game, and I think that's what SCS strived out for when they created this game. Was to make a very, very realistic truck simulator, and I think they've done it very, very well. The support they're showing at the moment is absolutely fantastic. They're constantly releasing new DLCs, new paint packs and all that for your trailers, for your units and whatnot, and all new trailers for you to pick up. Like I said in the last video, the latest one is was the heavy haulage, I think they call it, or something transport. But basically the stuff that you need an escort vehicle for. Also releasing new parts of Europe, because weirdly some parts of Europe are not actually in the game, and the latest one they released was Italy. So eventually we will be delivering stuff down in Italy, hopefully. Acres is ahead, which I do believe is where we're dropping off. Obviously these companies are not real. You can actually get mods to add real companies to the game. I may do that one day. Always roadworks. Right. What the handbrake? And I managed to, how the heck did I manage to, oh, because I'm in third. That's the reason why. Thank you, that's better. Having all sorts of issues there. Let's go with the let's play it safe for the time being. We've had too many issues on this delivery as it is. So, hazard lights on, handbrake off, or parking brake, or whatever it is it's called. Check that's out of gear, and it is. Not going to have any more mistakes like that. The lights off, the headlights off. Nice delivery. Like I say, this Scania, the only thing I can say is I like Scanias, I just don't like ones with 360 horsepower engines inside them. So yeah, I'm the CraftyGamer. Managed to make our delivery, even though my navigation sucks badly. Hope you enjoyed this video. I will try and make them a little bit more better, shall we say, in the next few videos. It's obviously a learning process for me. So let's jump straight into dropping the trailer off, and we'll see what points we're going to get. Oh, weirdly, they thought it was excellent. How little they know. So, £16,671 given to me, with 1,014 XP. So, yeah. So, like I say, I'm the CraftyGamer. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in episode number 3 of my adventures in Euro Truck Simulator. So now we've got just over 204,000. We're getting very close to the point where I can buy my own unit. So yeah, stay safe, and I'll see you in an episode very, very soon.